680, Richard Southern joins us on this damp Monday. And Richard, we're closing out 2017. You've already put together a list of your top business news stories of the year. What are they?
Yeah, let's take a look, shall we? I got my 6 top biggest business news stories of 2017, Francis. Let's start at number 6. It is the Toronto real estate market cooling off after an astonishing run. The housing market here in the city is down 8.8% since May. Prices are lower as well. It's been the biggest decline for the market in 17 years. Still, much of the correction coming at the top end of the market. Condo sales continue to impress. Number 5 on my list, Wall Street hits records almost every day, including today. The Dow closed at its 70th record high of the year today. The Dow's up almost 5,000 points in 2017 amid low interest rates, record corporate earnings, and a promise of a big corporate tax cut. Number 4 on my list, it's Canada's economy impressing, and the Bank of Canada hiking interest rates as a result. When we started the year, we thought the economy maybe would struggle to grow even 2%. It looks like it's growing more than 3% this year. The job market vastly improved, and as a result, Bank of Canada hiked interest rates twice this year. Number 3 on the list of the biggest business news stories of the year, Bitcoin going bananas, Francis. Bitcoin up, almost $18,000 on the year, closing today around $18,600 USD amid many warnings about a big bubble here. Number 2, it's reefer madness on Bay Street. Marijuana stocks going absolutely crazy. Canopy Growth, the leader in the sector, up 124% this year as we gear up for legalization next summer. And my biggest business news story of the year, it has to be the retail apocalypse continuing. Sears Canada going belly up. You know, Francis, 8,600 stores in North America closed this year, retail stores, most in history. And of course, Sears shutting down, the most prominent example of this, with a lot of money moving to online retail. And this is something that's, I'm sure, going to pick up steam again next year with all that big change in the retail sector.
You know, the deaths of Barry Sherman and his wife Honey come as Apotex, the generic drug industry, as well, as they grapple with difficult change. Yeah,
that's right. So, I mean, Apotex, this company started by Mr. Barry Sherman, a generic drug maker, and the prices for these generic drug companies, they're lower. We're seeing big price drops because the industry is dealing from a lot of consolidation among drug stores, which means they can demand a better price. Manufacturers also slashing the price of these drugs as they look to maintain market share, and the U.S. Food and Drug Administration recently allowed more generic drugs to come in from China and India, also pressuring prices. Apotex's big rival, Teva Pharmaceuticals, recently announced plans to lay off more than a quarter of its workforce. Apotex, though, is a private company, so we don't know exactly what its financials look like. Francis, Barry Sherman listed as the 363rd richest person in the world, according to Forbes magazine.
There's a new government report out, Richard, that finds that Canadians are already spending almost as much on marijuana as they do wine.
Yeah, it's something, and it's an indication of how big this market could be next year, Francis. Canadians consume about $6.2 billion worth of marijuana annually, according to Stats Canada. Annual consumption appears to be 1/2 to 2/3 the size of the $9.2 billion beer market, or almost as much as the $7 billion wine market. The Stats Canada agency, though, did warn that its estimate for the market is very rough, and it said actual consumption could reasonably be double what this is. So this is something that Stats Canada is going to look to measure more accurately next year with the legalization coming up.
You can just imagine going to a party, forget the bottle of the wine, honey, get the little fancy bag of whatever.
Yes, you have to have new words for it. Nice bouquet on that.
Is that it? Yeah. So could this be a trip we will make in the next few years? So the Amazon founder is showing off video of a test of one of his rocket ships.
Yeah, never mind Orlando, Francis. You might bring your family on this. This is the Blue Origin company started by Amazon founder Jeff Bezos. They tested their spaceship again late last week, and you can see the mannequin in there. His name was Mannequin Skywalker, they called him. And so it made us, there he is up in space. So this made a successful orbit, and when they actually going to put people in there, you can come out of your seat and float around, and then it comes right back down again and lands. No tickets have yet been sold for this, so we don't know exactly what the price is going to be, but they say they're going to start commercial flights with this in 2019, Francis.
That looked like a bumpy landing, though.
It looked a little rough, the landing.
Poor Mannequin Skywalker was a little shaken.
Bit of a headache, yeah.
But what about the real Skywalker? I took the kids this weekend to see Star Wars: The Last Jedi. It was phenomenal, and apparently a lot of people agreed with me.
I saw it too. It was okay. I don't know if I used the word phenomenal.
Really?
Maybe I
we loved it.
You liked it?
Yeah.
My expectations might have been a little too high. The Last Jedi had the second best opening weekend of all time in Canada. Brought in $17 million this week. It was second only to the Star Wars 2 years ago. The Force Awakens didn't do quite as good as that. Also held the second best spot in the U.S. where it pulled in $220 million. Disney stock actually moving a little bit lower today on that news, Francis.
All right. Thank you, Richard.
Thanks.